Hello everyone, I'm Johnny, and today we're taking a look at World War II anime. There's a surprising amount of anime focused around World War II. Some of it is fun trash, others are historical masterpieces. So let's check out 5 in order of release date. In This Corner of the World, 2016, follows a family in their everyday lives in a time before and during World War II. It is a story of a family in the periphery of the war. It shows the genuine suffering regular people may have faced during the war, without an attempt to assign blame or make an overt political statement, apart from simply being an anti-war film. The movie is historically significant as it shows the devastation conventional bombing had on Japan before Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Again, this movie does not attempt to elicit political sympathy, but rather it's just a story of people caught up in a war. It's beautifully drawn, well voice acted, and its message of peace is clear. The Wind Rises, 2013, another anti-war film, this time from the perspective of airplane designer Jiro Horikoshi, designer of the famous Mitsubishi Zero. The story's main theme is how total war consumes and transforms individuals and industry. Jiro, who once dreamed of creating the greatest planes on Earth for the betterment of his nation, ends up creating what would be by the end of the war, a largely outdated fighter, used in horrific kamikaze attacks. The movie is animated by Studio Ghibli, probably one of the most recognizable and excellent animation studios on Earth. The Wind Rises is beautifully drawn, voice acted, and has compelling characters. I highly recommend this movie for anyone who has an interest in World War II or anime. Girls und Panzer, 2012. If you're into tanks and want something totally bonkers, then Girls und Panzer might be for you. It's totally stupid, but a lot of fun, especially if you're just wanting tank eye candy. This anime features a ton of very well-drawn World War II tanks, from every nation and theater of war. The show's basic concept is that World War II tank warfare has become a high school girls' sport. Yeah, it's Japanese anime, that's what they do. So you can watch this on Netflix as a TV series. There's also a film, Girls und Panzer der Film. If you're a gamer, there's also an adaptation for the Wii or PlayStation. There's even a mobile game, they really milked this one. And there is of course the manga, which this was originally based off of. So is it worth watching? Well, I'm immature and I like the idea of World War II tanks as a high school sport. So I'm going to have to say yes. The Cockpit, 1993. This is a short 3-episode anime based on 3 stories from Leiji Matsumoto's Battlefield manga. But for the anime, it was chosen to have all 3 episodes developed by entirely different studios. So though each episode takes place during World War II, they are uniquely drawn and styled different from each other. Episode 1 is titled Slipstream and follows a Luftwaffe pilot escorting a German bomber. There's excellent animation of FW-190s as well as Spitfires. The dogfights in this episode are better than you might expect. Episode 2 is titled Sonic Boom Squadron, easily as good as Episode 1. It follows a suicide pilot who is to pilot a Cherry Blossom, a one-way trip aircraft designed at the end of the war. Episode 2 is known for its excellent carrier-based aircraft battles. Episode 3, titled Night of the Iron Dragon, follows 2 soldiers who must attempt to reach an airbase. You may find this episode least like the others as it doesn't feature much for aircraft, but nonetheless paints a personal and sad message about the futility of war and the sacrifice many Japanese soldiers made for a lost cause. Grave of Fireflies, 1988. Another heart-wrenching story of survival in World War II Japan, told from the perspective of 2 children, made homeless by the bombings of Kobe near the end of the war. This film won critical acclaim worldwide, and was animated by the famous Studio Ghibli. It's considered one of the saddest and most profound works of animation ever, and is based loosely on the real experiences of a bomb survivor, Akiyuki Nosaka. who was the original writer of the short story. This is one of the most powerful anti-war films you can watch. Alright, I'm Johnny. Thanks for watching. I hope you get to check out some of the anime listed, which is really just a sample. There are many, many more World War II animes out there, and hopefully I'll get a chance to review many more. If you want to support the channel, like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and we will see you next time.